This is day 234 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you'd like to sponsor upcoming shir of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, be greatly appreciated. Please contact me directly. Today we're doing Siman Kuf Samech Beis, Sif Kuf Ches, and finishing Kuf Samech Beis and going on to Kuf Samech Daled, Sif Gimel. It's most a stretch. Okay, so Kuf Ches. When you pour the first water in your hands, certainly there should not remain. I guess it could be in the cup if you're taking from the spring or somewhere or a stream. There should remain in your hand a pebble or a stick or anything else. The second water is only matar the water on the second water you spill in the hand will only be matar the hand. Not anything else that should be explained. Can you more mime so the water which is going to be on the pebble, even though pebble is top of a couple tuma, there'll be matame as a mime which the water on the hand will turn into tara, and the tara will not be effective until you wipe your hands. And you go back and wash them again. So Chashon is completed countless times. If you pour a piece at once, it won't make a difference. King I'm kind of mind to make because there's no tummy mind. Ishmael no tummy water. Ishmael are those who say Shagam Shelagu Barad, Shenom Rusak, also snow and hail which is not chopped up. Havi Katsor is like a pebble. King the Bash Biosnim Namayim. And it was something which is like a water bug of some sort. It grows in the water. It's a big chumrah of the Magen Avraham. The Mishnah Berurah is talking about where you can't remove it. What? I don't know. This probably is out of place, but I don't know where it's supposed to be. So scratch that. And Beis Yosef Paskins that anything which is comes to the water is not chotes, like a fish, for example. Nashim Gamliel is feeling came Mish Yadayim Perak Beis Mish Beis. Hey Mashlei Bezvachim Lechusok B'Shim Gamliel Ayinsham. Masachar Motzil Zeshin in Motzil Zeshin Sharmad Glida Hey Yadayim. And in the winter, this is prevalent that you find some frost on one's hands, especially in Russia. Even though you have to wash your entire hand, if you do half of it, it doesn't work. Somebody who has a wound or ache on his finger, his whole fingers, he finds it difficult to wash there. You can wash the rest his hand and be tar. So here, this is where Mishnah Berurah is supposed to be, which is out of place. Before, this is talking about where you cannot remove the bandage or whatever it is because of the pain of the bandage, and therefore it's enough to just leave it there and wash over it, or around it. And there's this case, the Rabbanan did not say it's an impediment. If he has a bandage actually on the place where the makkah is, he's zohar, he should be careful. So not like I just said, water should not touch the bandage. If they reach there, they're not going to become ever touch. Much time like you wrote before about a pebble or a stick. The Achronim say that, according to Mishnah Berurah, the Achronim say it's best to wrap on the bandage after you wash when you come to eat, so a clean and white rag to cover the pollution of the bandage. Because you're going to put that around the bandage before you wash, you have to make sure that it's very takes up only the surface area of the bandage itself, and that is very difficult to measure. Okay, obviously because it won't be a chatzitza. Back to Arukh HaShulchan. Being, of course, once again, shofar could be a skachas, you pour reviz once, lace lamba, doesn't make a difference. Shari learn more mind, the water will not become tame. That's why we're not careful about this. We pour on the bandage. Shofar could be a skachas because you pour reviz at once. Um, but that you should know the Afghan Mayachronim any time Gabi Karka. Even though Mayachronim we shall learn the word at the end of the meal you can't wash on the ground. Send they shuach rosh or real link because they have a ruach ra as we shall see. I'm showing them Bain Bikli Ben Gabi Karka you wash the Tilos Yadayim whether in a vessel or on the ground it makes no difference. I'm assuming Habas see base and see the following symbol which we'll see shortly. Kuf Samach base Kuf Samach Kimmel sorry. Somebody that has no water. Somebody who's feeding others. Aleph. Armina b'chulin the hitiru mapol ochle truma. Says the chulin they're allowed to hold in a cloth for people eat truma. Lo hitiru mapol ochle turos and not for people eating taros. Pirish Rashi ochle truma tiru l'cholchel dabem mapol. People eat truma they allowed you to wrap your hands in a in a cloth. Chol pasel until it's time to eat the bread bread without washing. Shudochle truma is reasoning because people eat truma are meticulous. Because usually you go be them apostle, be careful not to touch with their hand to bread with their hands. Abolochi taros, so people eat taros. Klomar ochlin chulin b'tara. When people eat chulin b'tahara, they meticulous eating their chulin when they're tahar, and in situations a state of tahara. Lo yitiru zeh they did not allow that for them. Ayin sham. That's around she pasakim perches members tumas ayin sham. Specifically for the people who eat taros that they were not lean. But for generic chulin it's permissible. That's why Rambam baskets they can wrap your hands in a cloth and eat the bread that way. But all the Rishonim argues, who they hold the b'chulin lo yitiru zeh klal. There's not mutter by chulin. Only he's on the road. You can't wear water. But derech in front of you for for a distance of 4 meal. Ol achrav behind you a meal. Only then they're mat to this and not in any other conditions. There's a tune shal pass in this way pass we hold. Yoshua based on me sitting at home, he's got to go for whole 4 meal in order to find water. People involved in watching fields and orchards do not have to go more than a meal. That seems to indicate Yerushalmi. There's a doubt whether you're going to find it within the allotted shear of 4 meal or meal, depending on where you're going. Eat with a cloth. It's also somebody who's with a group. His face is going to remain alone. We can also remember the Rambam. So if somebody has a wound on his hand, it's difficult to him to wash at all together. Even in a place where there is no wound. He wrap his hands in a cloth and eat. If one of his hands is healthy, then he should wash that one hand. But the second one wrap in a cloth. Of course, in these circumstances, even you wash one hand, you can't make a bracha until Yadayim. So if you have water which is not appropriate for Tilas Yadayim, you have no other water, you tell below bracha, you should wash without a bracha. Also, if you're eating by a fork, by a spoon or a fork, asur, it is forbidden. I'm not sure what it means. It's forbidden. What's forbidden? I'm not sure what that means. What's awesome? Okay, let's set it aside. So to something which is dipped in liquid. I guess even if you're eating by a spoon or fork, eating according to those machmir and a wash for that, you can't you can't make a bracha. Even if you have mayim shein l'tiyas and no other water, you can't make a bracha. But the language of usr is difficult. Not sure exactly why he says the word usr. From the language of Shulchan Aruch, it seems that what's usr is to eat without washing, even if we're eating with a spoon or a fork. But again, not sure exactly what that means. I guess if those who are machmir are not allowed to eat without washing, even if they're eating with a spoon or a fork. Okay. The Milan Bia Mishnah Berurah. The Bia Halacha says that that which you can be mako. If you can't find water within 4 meal or 1 meal, it's only if you're very hungry or if you're weak because of travel or such like. But under generic conditions, should not be lenient. Yeshua writes, if he's that which you, if you know you're not going to find water within 4 meal, that's only it's advad bichal. In other words, if you find water at 4 meal, that's considered to be within 4 meal, and only if it's more distant 4 meal, then you don't have to do it. You don't have to wait. The Mishnah writes, the Rabbah says, a place where you don't have cloth, it's mutter in without a cloth. But this is very infrequent because we're not talking about naked people who have no cloths. You can to wrap your hands. You can use your shirt, so you're required to do so. Berurah says that the other achronim were maskim, that anybody sitting in his house is not required to look for water unless it's less than a meal, just like behind him. Very much more mako than Arukh HaShulchan. He says 4 meal for sitting at home. Only people on the road, where he's going anyway in that direction, have to wait 4 meal, but not if you're at home. So that is a big cooler from the Mishnah Berurah. Gimel. Oh, this is Shom B'chulin. It says themselves machil acherim. People are feeding others, even though they touch the bread. This time, nevertheless, you don't have to wash. On the contrary, somebody's eating, even though the person feeding him, a person is feeding him and putting the bread into his mouth. Nevertheless, he has to wash. He has to make a bracha. So do somebody eats with a fork. You're not allowed to feed somebody who has not washed, because you should not put a stumbling block in front of a blind person. The halacha says that specifically we're giving him to eat immediately. Wait. I missed the Mishnah Berurah here. Sorry, on the previous sif, I missed the Mishnah Berurah. I don't see where that hate was. Yeah, Mr. Mishnah Berurah. Mishnah Berurah says that according to Mechaber, you can't do. He says according to Mechaber, you can't do one hand washing, one hand wrapping. You have to wrap both. Just like Matil, you have to wash both hands. Because even though you're eating with one hand, no. Sorry, you can't wash one and wrap the other, but you can't wrap only one hand because just like we're choshish by this time, you might touch the Torah hand with the Tomei hand. So too, you're afraid that you're going to touch the hand which is wrapped with the hand which is unwrapped. He says the Ramah is lenient. Bialocha says that, getting back to Arsif, that it's only looking even if you give him immediately to eat right now. But if he takes it home, you're allowed to give it to him. Maybe he'll there make a deal to do deals tonight. It's a famous tshuva from Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, who says that it's more if it's lifnei iver of chilul Hashem is worse than lifnei iver of giving somebody to eat if they're not going to wash. So therefore, it's in other situations like that. So therefore, one has the chacham einer barosho to know what's going to make the bigger, what's going to be more of a lifnei iver that a person is going to not make the bracha or not wash, or lifnei iver that a person is going to come to hate Yahadus. Always good to keep in mind. Continuing on, Arukh HaShulchan, the bread belongs to that person. You should not help him to bring it close to him. Koshken lead to pass and certainly for us to give it to him. If you're not sure, maybe you will wash the hands. You can give it to him. Mishabur interestingly says, especially to a poor person at tzedakah, you should not be machmir in case of doubt. Back to Arukh HaShulchan, b'yomelo leichun to yadecha. Tell him go and wash again to take Chil Hashem into account. If he doesn't listen to you, it's not your problem. Who are Russia? I'll get for him. He's the Russia. He'll bear his own sin. You are not responsible. Kuf Samadad. Yochel Asos B'Minatila. Can you make a Tanai on your washing? For me and B'Chulin. The person can wash his hands in the morning. Masem Kol Yom. Making a condition that it works for the entire day. Kulo. Shekul Yochel Echol the entire day you can eat without washing. But she's in the Tanfeim with Tamei. But always to make sure not to get them dirty or tummy. For Dafka, she's number 4. There's only stipulated that explicitly this is going to work the entire day for your eating. He didn't make a stipulation. Lo Mahani does work after Shamaridab, even if you safeguard your hands. But the reason seems to be Lomi Boim Tzarech Kavanot Yasdaim. It goes down saying you need Kavanot Yasdaim. It has to be specifically with the Kavanot for the entire day. Elafila Command Kaimalon. The Rav Apostle knows that which most Apostle know the answer Kavanah. And require Kavanah much time to see him because him Kufnum test see if you down Badai Lam down Ein Sham. You can't come nevertheless below tonight without stipulation. Have a Ochel Liniatias times like you're eating without washing. So Rabbanan Tiknu Tias Daim Achila. Rabbanan made it that kind of the Tias Daim for Achila. Juxtaposed, presumably. After Yodesh even when his hand, he knows his hands are torque. Much cause of Reish Kim Kufnum Ches Ein Sham. Can Eichel Chabalona Tila, so I can wash without washing now, just before, because hands are torn. That doesn't work. She's you made the stipulation, shop empty this time Suda. Then you already washed for the Suda. Because in the morning you have to come on to make the Suda later on. But I've got this time this time so Suda, even though it's time to Suda. You have to wash adjacent to the Suda. Come, nevertheless, be Rabbanan. This Rabbanan were lenient on this with the stipulation. Because in any event, at least there is a Netilas Yadayim last Suda for the meal. Without a Kavanah, without stipulation, ain't no lav klum, it's nothing. The after questions you have to make the stipulation verbally, or just if you think the stipulation good enough. Besides the Mishnah Stapek was and sees the Bach is not sure about this. Those Rabbo says the Dai Machshava. Arisa Shevi B'Shem Shibol Lekam Shem Tanya. The name of the Ashkenazic Rishonim. It says the Tzarich Shiomar. He has to say B'Netila Zu with this washing and Mutar L'Chol Kol Yom will be permitted to eat the entire day. That seems to be the primary. Looking because not ain't Seker Klaus nothing of the Basuda. What is the sign that he was naito for the meal for the entire day? That which one says the entire day sounds like it sounds like this only works until nightfall. Maybe you had in mind until you go to sleep. Why should make them with day or night? Nevertheless, came the kula g'daylihi, so it's a great kula to line the stipulation. Sufficient to the day, the evil thereof. In other words, enough which works the day, and we're not going to be mostly on that. Mishmur also says you have to make a verbal stipulation, or no, he says it does work to have in your mind that this Natila should be effective to all the eating that he's going to do the entire day. So here again, he's being more making Arukh HaShulchan and does not require a verb or verbalized stipulation. Based at 9, when you make the stipulation, so be careful not to get distracted. Not get your hands dirty. She's wearing gloves. I'll keep your hands clean. If he's not going to get distracted, why do you need the stipulation altogether? Wants to prove they need kavanah to wash. They don't not prove at all. If you don't require kavanah, nevertheless, it has to be recognizable that this isn't a time for eating. If he gets distracted, and it's a long time since you watched, there's no obvious sign whatsoever. For Eilazeh, evidence for this is Sharei Abedabei says the pasuk Sikuf Nantesi Biyukimo Dene Kavana Makim. He says that you don't need kavana as an impediment; it's only preferable. Nevertheless, pasakani, even though he said it's not an impediment, he pasuk shouldn't get distracted. Ramatur also shouldn't get distracted. And they never said you need kavana. At the Rambam, the contrary, the Rambam, before the chol, the chulin, lo by kavana, anytime with dibrat chulin, you don't need kavana, and yet here they say you can't be Mesir Daito, so there should be a continuation from the stipulation. Mishabura brings opinions. Some say the Tzilas requires kavana for eating, and those opposed can say that the Tzilas does not require kavana. Nevertheless, it's possible they require the stipulation, because since it's for the entire day, we don't rely on your shmirah unless you make a explicit stipulation, because maybe you're going to forget and not pay attention. If you make a stipulation, then we assume that you're going to pay attention and make sure to fulfill the safeguarding which is required in order for your stipulation to be effective.